Mic check 1 2 84 65. So my cell phone says I have 4 people in the room. Hello, Barabaran. I probably can't pronounce the rest of that. Thank you for saying hi. How you doing, my friend? So, of course, like usual for my regulars that are going to be in the room tonight, nothing but issues with me trying to get this damn live stream up and going. Like, nothing but mad issues. So, running with one camera. And the funny thing is that we're running with the oldest and worst piece of equipment that transfers the video from the camera to the computer. So there's a little bit of lag between my lips and what you're hearing probably. There's a way for me to adjust that. I obviously hadn't done that. I spent like the last 2.5 hours working with a brand new cam link that I just purchased that does not want to work properly with this software. It wants to give me what's the word I'm looking for? A picture on the screen, but it's all blued out. Like I'm blue autumn dee dum dum da. It's horrible. So I've been messing with that forever. I'm tired of messing with that, and so we're just running from one camera right now. When I'm looking at the camera, might be a little bit of lag between what I'm saying and what you're actually hearing. But besides that, I'm gonna have to mess with the camera to get all of the shots I want to get. You're gonna have to bear with that a little bit, but it does get really good shots, so you should get really good pictures of this stone that I'm working on. And honestly, hey D, how you doing, girl? I really want to get this stone finished. I want to get it finished during live streams. I've meant to do a stone from beginning to end. I know other people that do fire agate videos that have meant to do, a stone from beginning to end, and none of us have quite gotten there. And this would probably be the first video that's probably all the way from the very beginning to the very end. Although actually, not even the very beginning, because it was really a lot of the a lot of the stuff that was on it was ground off on a different video where I spent like 45 minutes doing that and had a whole bunch of problems during that video too, because apparently live streaming, if you don't have a dedicated live streaming setup and you have to unplug cords and move stuff around, it never wants to work properly, multiple times in a row for some reason. That is definitely for some reason. So I am watching on the phone with you guys because as you can see on the screen, I wasn't able to put the chat on the screen and get this thing up. So definitely tell me you're in the room, say anything that you can think of and whatever, and I'll respond as I can. I have a phone to keep up on. And I'm only actually at this angle. I'm going to switch this angle because I'm going to show you the stone, and then I'm going to let me get my light cord out of my face. I'm going to show you the stone up close on camera, and then I am going to trim it on my wheels over there. So let me move the angle of this a little bit. Not what I wanted. All right, that tells me right where the camera's at least, so I can get a generally good shot. Let me put the mic down. All righty, so there we go. Change the camera a little bit. Now, when I was not on camera, I trimmed the stone a little bit on a saw, and I think I bumped the stone a little bit. There's a couple of spots right here. There's a couple of spots right there that don't look like they did before, I'm pretty sure. The purple is really close to being right on top on most of this. Inside this valley, there's a little tiny bit of bronze. It's not quite on the purple. Now, I don't want to expose the purple too much. I want it to come out fully and be fully bright with my other burrs, 1200, 1400, 3000, whatever. At the same time, I want to clean this up, and I have a little bit more brown on here that I want to. I want to get a little bit closer to the green if at all possible. So I hate to touch it up one more time, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the stone using my Cab King, and I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to make a bunch of this smaller. And then after that, I'm going to take my 600 hard, and I'm going to just touch up that right there. And I'm going to touch this up. And I am, after that, going to go to the pre-polish stage. So that's the plan. That's the motions I'm going to make right here. 3 people in the room now from 6. Thanks for being here, 3 people. Can you hear me okay? You got any advice for the way the stream's going? Go ahead and say something. Moving some stuff around real quick. Now I got my water going a little bit. Oh, I didn't think about that, did I? Shit. There we go. There we go. I told you this camera is going to work great, or at least the floating pod I have up there overall is going to work fantastic. What's up, Jimmy Scott? How you doing, my friend? Thank you, Robert Bradford. I really appreciate the info. Well, I shouldn't be getting much buffering. I should have a pretty good internet connection on my side. I'm wired in. At least on my end, it should be pretty good. And I wanted to saw all of this off, but the blade I have here is a blade for opals, basically. It takes so long to saw anything that I was just figured I'd do it like this instead. Boy, that is screaming. I need a little bit more water. Should have put my earplugs in first. Hey Cherie, how you doing down there in Australia? Getting close to the edge I want on this side. On this side, I know that that circle right there, half of that, at least like more like 3/4 of it has cracks that are too deep to keep the color. So the final gemstone has to be at least half of that circle has to be gone, that little green one right there on the edge. Thomas Covenant. I read those books. It's like the story of a person with leprosy, like committing the ultimate sin and then trying to redeem himself. And by the end of the story, he's pretty much finding out that there's no redemption. There's what you did, and it's always what you did. Ooh, we're getting close. Getting close to the color. Whoops, I'm leaning my head in front of the camera, too. It's when I knew it was going to have to be like that. That's why I'm keeping it a little bit more wide, too. That, and so I don't need to move it when I change it on the other wheels. She sounded like she might be coming after this stone. It might be mine. I really know where the good color is, and I know there's no good color right under that, so I'm not sure. I think I'm going to take it right to that edge right there. Whoops, my phone just turned the machine off. I think I'm going to take it to that edge right there, because then from one angle it's at least green, and then from the bottom angle you only have a little bit of that bronze. Everything else is green and purple. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm going to do right there. There we go. Should have done it a minute ago. Whoa! My machine is vibrating other stones I had sitting on it, falling off. Now I'm just like a hair. I'm just a little bit away from it. You can see the green, but really there's a little line of orange. So I'm going to stop right there so I can take that out on the other wheels, which most of the people that are watching this are more experienced with that sort of stuff than I am. A beautiful little bit of color runs down the edge right here, but oh well, that's gone. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to take this beautiful ringstone piece on top. Sorry I wasn't here the last couple of nights, guys. Last night I was exhausted. Over the last 3 days I rode a lot of miles on a bike. But I'm not going to say any more about that because I have a little bit of a video coming out for you guys. And in the future, what I'm doing, which I am going to be doing more of what I did just the other day, or 3 days in a row, which I rode over 50 miles on a bicycle in those 3 days to accomplish my goals. But my goals were accomplished. So I think I'm going to end up doing more of that. And I'll talk about that in the upcoming video. Oh yeah, purple, blue, and neon pink, or an actual pink. Oh, blood red too, like the real red. Orange red is okay, but a super bright green is more valuable than an orange red. Whereas a dead blood red, like on top of a green without the orange in it, that's really valuable. Purple, blue, red, and the rarest color is pink, like really, really pink, like no mistaking it's a neon pink. It's extremely rare, and it does happen. But I've never seen a neon pink that was like as bright as these colors are right here. Hey, 12 people, thanks for being in the room. That is one bonus of doing a single camera shot running through, or being able to do a single camera shot and then looking on my phone instead of looking at the messages on the screen is one, I can scroll through the text that you guys leave, and then two, the whole screen is not. The whole screen is taken up by the picture for us to see on phones and stuff like that. It's not mixed with anything else. But the production value, no overlays, no bottom thirds. No send me money to this link. No buy my crap at this link. None of that stuff's on there. I don't know why it would not let that one go through, Jimmy. Thank you. It's still super, super thick. Like, it's still way chunkier than it needs to be. I mean, to me, this is like as chunky as I see some of these guys selling them on Facebook, and they're like, it's 45 carats. And it's like, dude, like that leaving a whole bunch of bottom stone on it and then claiming that it's, a much heavier stone is weak. And if you want to charge more money for it, you should charge more money for it because it's worth the money, because of the way it looks, not because somebody imagines it's going to be worth more because it's heavier. Fire agate doesn't work like those other stones. You can have a fire agate stone that's 24 millimeters by 38 millimeters and weighs less than a stone that's 14 millimeters by 9 millimeters just because of the leftover agate on the bottom of the stone that doesn't have any color. It doesn't refract like the other gemstones that are faceted. It's a reflection thing, not a refraction thing. Could be wrong on that statement, but well, can I move the microphone closer? I can talk louder. Believe it or not, the microphone is way away from the machine and really close to my mouth. I can also turn the back of the microphone towards the machine. The microphone was sideways, and that might have been part of it. If the machine is facing the back of the microphone, that should help. Sorry about that, and thank you for the advice, very much so. So you can see that, like, I have this sort of arrows, like these are the... I'm shooting for it to be a little bit thinner than that, but I'm not even getting close to my spot yet. How's the sound now? Is that better while I'm grinding? What up, Stainless Trails? How you doing, William Ewing? There are some fire agate lots still inside of the shop. I plan on posting some more up soon. But I'm also on a different sort of venture trying to make some money. Trying to bring in that fat cash so I can pay for that bus and get that back on the road and pay for that license and get my ass driving and be able to dig in some really good spots. And if the miners want to charge, the money they want to charge for the spot, then I'd be able to pay them to go and dig in those spots and do some videos. It's funny because all the other business ideas or things I want to do all basically end up back with me going and digging for gemstones and making videos for YouTube. It's been a labor of love and hasn't been really profitable at all. There's been times where it's paid for itself. But paying my rent and paying for itself, not that it's not possible. There's a lot of money in minerals. Yeah, this mic actually is a directional microphone. It's supposed to pick up what's right in front of it. But the thing is that the squeal off of these wheels from this stone on it is so loud that it's bouncing off of all of the walls around me too. So it's just not as simple as what we would like it to be. We're almost there on this 80. I'm almost where I want to be on it. Jimmy, I would absolutely love to be out there, buddy. If you haven't gotten my phone number yet, actually, shit, my number has changed since I was out there, my friend. Hit me up on Facebook. I have 2 phone numbers now. I should give both of them to you so you can call me anytime you want, man. Like, even beyond all of that craziness that's been going on recently, like, yo, I'm your guys' friend, you know? I only say the things I say because I love that motherfucker, so... Which I'm sure you guys can tell by the way by the way I say the things I say. There's like no mistaking. You have to be very confused or just not like me and lying about my intent to misconstrue my intentions. I'm so blunt about shit stuff. Yeah, that mic would actually not help me in this scenario. This is one of those scenarios where this wheel is just so loud. This one is especially loud. It's also so loud because I put so much pressure on it. I don't want it to be too thin, but I don't want it to be too thick either. And there's like a fine line between just right and questionable. Still got to lose some of that, I think. I don't want to have any of that. Maybe just a tiny lip for gold to hold on to or something, but getting close. Getting close. Yes, absolutely, Lapidary Dave. We had talked about that at one point in time. You're welcome to send me some. And there, did you see that, guys? You see that break off in my fingers? That was the section I was talking about that was going through that really bright green circle right there. You can still see a little crack in it. If I zoom in really tight. Oh, if it'll focus now, though. It's not going to focus for me because I zoomed in too tight. Whatever. But yeah, there's little cracks right there. And they just fell off for the most part of that section. So I'll end up going through it a little bit more on the shaping right here. But yeah, Dave, you can definitely send me some of that. I mean, there's definitely differences between all of the mines, and you can tell them more when you work the material more. I mean, Slaughter Mountain is the easiest to tell, and the easiest two to mistake for each other are Slaughter Mountain and Deer Creek. And I've had a little bit of Mexican fire agate, but I would definitely do that video, no problem, bro. And if my new ventures work out, hopefully in the next couple of months, I'll have a lot of money going into that bus, because if everything works out the way I'd like it to, and I don't have any major hiccups, and I do really well, I should be able to make about 10 grand to put towards that in the next couple of months. Which actually, I was looking at some bus auctions. I was thinking maybe I should buy another one. But then getting it licensed and registered as an RV is a little bit of a pain. I'm not sure how many millimeters that is. Let me see if I can find my gauge real quick. All right. 5.9 millimeters. Make sure it was zeroed. Yeah, that was at 0. 6.5 at the thickest up there. Down here, 4.2. Over here, 6.9. Over here, 6.9. You see how flat it is. Well, I mean, that rests pretty flat on a flat surface. It's not wobbly at all or anything. I think I want to take another millimeter off of it, but I think that's about all I want to take. I don't want it to be super thick, but it still looks a little bit chunkier than it needs to be to me. I still think it's a little bit too chunky. That might be a very true statement, but I wouldn't actually know that, as I've never worked Mexican rough. I've only actually worked Mexican windows. I've never actually worked Mexican rough. So I understand the color layers a little bit better. And the reality is, too, is that I've only worked a little bit of Mexican rough. I haven't worked a lot of it. I would love to go down to Mexico and see the mining and, you know, visit with the miners and stuff like that and see how they're pulling out of the ground, because really, to understand a stone from the inside out, you really need to, especially fire agate, you don't just need to dig it. You have to carve it too. Like, you have to carve it and dig it, because the reality is that when you're carving it, you're only going to see what you carve to. But when you're digging it, you're going to break all kinds of fire agate that you're going to be able to see what's going on inside of those layers, that you would never want to break that on purpose, because you're wasting thousands of dollars. Trust me, you're going to break the best fire agate you ever pull out of the ground if you're digging it, if you're mining it. Like, that's a firm belief of mine, being somebody that's mined it. Take just a hair more off of this, and then I'm going to go ahead and move the camera angle and move it to another wheel. This took way longer than I thought it was going to. We've been here for like 30 minutes. Yeah, I think that's ready to move on. And since I'm just going to be putting it on hard wheels, I'm not going to be polishing the back of it beyond a 600 because I don't want to make it hard to hold on to. You go ahead and polish it and they become slick and hard to hold on to and all of that. So I got my 220 over here. There we go. Well, I appreciate that, Dave, because as far as running any of these machines, you are way better at it than I am, buddy. I've seen your cabochon making videos. You make way more material than I do. My problem is I don't have total faith in this because of what I've had happen previously. And I'm not talking about the stones or even the community. I'm talking about YouTube. My community I have way more faith in. I don't want to put them in a situation or me in a situation, if you know what I mean. Looks like Spencer, Idaho public opal mine is closed for the season, possibly longer. What happened there, Jimmy? Just an edge of that orange is left. Able Veteran Nomad got his first load of fire agate. Where'd you get your first load of fire agate from, buddy? Oh, you went out near the potato patch in the Hauser beds. The basically the area that's over by the Opal Hill fire agate mine. Wow, I lost a little something on that edge there. Something that had a little chip come out of there. I don't like that. Oh man, I hate that little piece that just did that to me right there. Nice to meet you, Jason. Yeah. Yeah, lots of people go there. It's supposed to be off limits, but it is what it is with one of those situations like that. We've had all kinds of problems with the BLM and stuff like that at that area, and then somebody else thought they claimed the area, and I need to talk to the actual claim holder himself again before I go out there, which if I get this bus up and running, of course, that's one of my main things is spending more time at the fire agate mine for sure. I think this is about ready for the other one. I have this little ledge right here that has this little bit of color right there, but looking at it, it's just sort of insane to even think about keeping it there. The rest of the stone is flowing so smoothly. Just a waste. A waste of space or a waste of gold whenever it gets put in something. I hope it gets put in gold. There we go. Now that is looking like a fatty daddy ring stone. Or a nice size pendant stone. All monster color too. It's looking great. And on to the 600. I'm not being too careful with this at all because I'm just basically making it okay right now on the bottom. I'm going to polish the top of it, and then off camera, after I finish with this area tonight, then I will go ahead and take this back over my soft wheels and make it all super smooth once I dop the top of it. It's something that, to polish the whole stone out and have the whole stone be beautifully polished and stuff like that, but it doesn't really need to be on camera. Just sort of a waste of time for us to go through that section right here together. So I'm just sort of rounding my edges and flattening it out with a 600 and making sure that it's ready to go for those other wheels over there. I think I forgot to do this section on the 300 or the 220. Dang it, that was bad. I just rubbed the edge of the stone on the edge of the other wheel, and that's never good. The good thing, though, is that anything that's like on this edge that's difficult to fix on these wheels, I can just go ahead and hit it real quick with a burr. I guess the question was, can I get this done tonight, right? How long can my live go for? I'm not sure. I've thought about setting up a live stream on a Ethiopian opal I've had in water for a number of years, and then having it live stream it drying out. And I've wondered that myself too. Will it cut my live stream off? Will my live stream just keep on going? Definitely have wondered myself, how long will the live stream go for if I were to just leave it on? Just going to check this out real quick. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm looking at a scratch or if I'm looking at a piece off my shirt that's like shirt material. I can see some scratches right there that I can just get rid of by running it on the wheel. All right, I think that took the edge out that had that scarring in it. I think it did. Oh, I forgot to make it wide. You guys can't see what I'm doing. There we go. That's better. My smallest hard grit here is a 600. I need to pull out my magnifier. 1 second, guys. What the heck happened to it? Alrighty, I am not sure what happened to my magnifier because I can't really see as up close as I would like to. Yes, I did say 600. It's a 600 grit is my, that wheel right there is a 600. I got a 80, 220, and a 600. And we're going to take this. Oh, I got to bend some stuff. Here, you know what? I'm going to put that right there. I'll move that light right there. I'm going to zoom in. I got to go potty real quick, guys. So we're going to put you on pause for just 1 second. I'm not going to do the whole be right back thing. I'm just going to go and zoom it in on that stone. And I will be right back. Hello, Anita Phillips. How are you doing, my dear? I'm rearranging some stuff so that the microphone and everything is on the other side so I can finish carving and polishing this one. Also, though, letting it dry out for a minute also lets me see any sort of imperfections that might have happened during the shaping stage. So if I had a wheel nick something that I can fix with a 600, then I'll be able to do that after it's totally dried out, which it's almost there, as you can see now with the whiteness going on. So pardon me while I medicate. $10:07. What have we been doing this for? About an hour? Where's the timer? I don't see the timer. Yep, 55 minutes and 34 seconds. That's what I can see. 55 minutes and 34 seconds. Yay, 1 hour. If I can get this done in the next 2 hours, I'm going to be super stoked. If it's totally finished and we're looking at a super shiny, wet-looking polished stone on top with massive color showing at all angles, I'm going to be so freaking happy. I mean, come on, guys. With the stuff that I showed you online, with the video I did about the fire agates that have sold on eBay, mind you, for buy it now prices, this stone is way better than most of those that have sold, and those are selling for $500 and $700 and way smaller than this also. So that one for $2,000 that's like super neon green with a red stripe about it, this is a better stone than that in my opinion. Although that stone for $2,000 hasn't sold yet, it's a stone that's for sale for $2,900. I'm sure if you offered the guy $2,000, he'd probably take it. But giving somebody a $900 deal on what he wants $2,900 for, whoops, wrong way, is not even devaluing the market at all, because where his market's at. So it does look like I have a nick right there. Like I have a little nick right there and a little nick right here. And honestly, they're so small, I think the 600 soft burr will probably take them out no problem. But I'm going to move the camera and everything. Oh, shit. Did you guys hear that crash? I totally could have broke my fucking neck right there. Oh my god. I just knocked everything, like 75 pounds worth of stuff off of an upper shelf above my head, just hit the ground next to me. I'm so lucky. That was so stupid. That was like one of the dumbest things I've done in a minute. That was so fucking dumb. Oh my god. Yeah, let me finish fixing the camera now that dummy didn't die. Oh my god. Really though. Bear with me, guys. You know what, when I'm doing this, I should probably like switch the view, but I don't do that typically. It's actually easier for me to get the angle I'm trying to get when I can look at it on the TV than when I'm trying to look at it through the viewfinder. It's appearing to be not too bad. It's appearing to be not too bad. I could be wrong, but I think that's pretty dang good. Yeah, we can see it all. I'm really not sure about those little tiny white spots because they're not nicks from the wheels. Like the wheels didn't touch that. That's not why that's like that. It might be spray from me cutting off the other agate around it. I might have should have just cut that off. Oh, well, hey, there we go. That works. Now I definitely have to take this back to the 600 real quick, though. I can't have my soft burr hitting that at all. Really can't. If my soft burr, if your Nova Point or your Deshine Diaflex hits that edge right there, like it's not good at all. Definitely not good. And I could just brush that up with a 600. But this angle's so good, I'm literally just going to widen you guys out, turn the water back on, and not change this angle at all. Be selfish like that. I'll be right back. Almost done. All right, that's good enough. I softened it up to where there's not a giant edge right there that's going to cut into my soft burrs. Whoops, and I almost gone throw it across the room. Alrighty. I think it's ready for some soft burrs. Actually, I honestly think I need to go over this a little bit. I don't think that's quite bright enough. So I'm going to go over this just a hair, and then I'll pull out the soft burrs, and we're ready to go. Get this done. Oh, dang it. Bump the camera. Shoot. It's on my head. Good news, guys. Since I did so well the other day on my business venture, and I tripled my, well, just under tripled my investment in 3 days, I took a portion of that money and bought a few more of these. And I am going to buy a couple more machines, and I am going to do a giveaway with some of that stuff here later on. Gonna do one of those you've been a subscriber giveaways, or you're a new subscriber giveaways, a subscriber giveaway. We usually do lotteries. It's been a minute since we had a lottery of some kind. Oh, I'm not on camera. My bad, guys. I'm reaching too high. It's such a good camera shot, and I'm screwing it up by putting it too high. See, man, this is supposed to go to my buddy, but if somebody were to buy it for what it's actually worth, then I could carve him another one, and I'd probably be able to afford to have somebody like put that in gold or something. Maybe some silver. I don't know. Maybe if I'm paying for the materials and stuff, I might be able to get some gold. Probably maybe a wrap or something. I don't know. Every time I see somebody's actual good fire agate in gold, that shit is like way more money than I got the money for at the moment. Until I'm selling all my fire agate for what it's actually worth. God, look at that. Oh my God. I mean, really though. Let them tell you that you know, California fire agate's not all that. Reality is that most of the people that go and get this fire agate know that they're stealing. The majority. There's a plenty of them that don't, but there's a bunch of people that go to that mine knowing it's somebody's claim and take the stuff from it, and then they claim that it's somewhere else once they get it carved like this. Because if you have a piece like this, you can say it's from any claim, and nobody's going to care. They're just going to be happy with that color. Color is banging, boy. Boy. I actually don't think I shaped this one down enough on the edge. That edge should be ground in a little bit more. And I'm off screen again, and it's so beautiful. Oh, and I also forgot to bring you guys with me. My phone is not where I can see anything you guys are saying. You're cracking the top. If you're talking about this section right here, it is a crease in the color. It's not a crack in the stone. All the cracks that were in the stone I talked about earlier, I just ground out of them. That's what happened on those wheels. All those cracks are gone. There is a white line of agate running through, but that's just something you got to deal with sometimes. And I think this is ready for the polish, though. I think this is ready for the pre-polish. That looks like it's poking out just right, all angles. That looks like it's poking out just right, all angles. This section still seems just a hair wide, but I don't really care. I can fix that when I polish the back and when I dop the front. Yes, sir. The color is unreal. Oh, this is $1,000 stone at least. This starts at $1,000. Looking like this. If it looks like this, once I polish it without any water dripping on it, and you turn that stone and it looks like that at all angles, no flat spots, yeah, with that color, yeah, we're starting at $1,000 for this stone right here. The size, let's not do carat weight, we just do millimeters. Let me grab my, where are my damn calipers? There they are. Oh. All right. So not doing carat weight, right? Because carat weight in fire agate is extremely deceiving. Just doing size, because really a jeweler would want to know the dimensions and whoops, I just hit the wrong button. There we go. All right. .26 long, 12.1 wide millimeters. That is a good size stone and is absolutely top quality. No question. All right, now I'm going to put some soft burrs on here and rinse this a little bit and go to town on. Although I'm going to put a 600, so that part doesn't really matter. That part doesn't matter because I'm going to use a 600 and I was just using a 600. Thank you, Cherie. I have driven myself crazy to finally start cutting them with a little bit of confidence. And the reality is that you got to be willing to fuck something up. It's going to be straight with you. Like, if you want to cut good fire agate, then you're going to have to ruin a couple along the way. So that's why I always advise that you cut stuff with color, but you don't cut your best stuff first. Work with your ugliest stuff up to your best stuff so you can understand how the color's running in the pieces that you have. I'll bet you $5 this person knows I'm live streaming. Hey, I'm live right now. All right, bye. Alrighty then. This is the wrong bin. I have to grab a different frickin' bin I'm looking for real quick. That's not pre-polish. That's grind. This is pre-polish, and I need to spend some money on some more burrs. Shit, and now I gotta remember what color is what. Black is the lowest, brown is next. So brown is 600. And I don't have any small burrs anymore. I have to order more burrs. A bunch of the burrs I got from them were defective, and I'd already sent one back and haven't sent any more. So it doesn't matter. I'll make it work. Oops, I'm bumping the mic everywhere. And not necessarily your bad ones, but start with your smallest, you know, your least expensive, the ones you don't think are going to be very valuable. Because the reality is that amazing fire agate colors are a lot of times not on the surface. You'll have good colors on the surface, and your best colors will be underneath, like this stone. If you watch this series of videos, which I didn't want to put any videos up in between these once this got started this way, once we were actually exposing this for what was going on in it, I wanted to make sure that the next videos up, so they were in sequence, was actually of this process, so you guys could watch a full stone basically get carved from its first windowing stage, which had been done a while ago, to, you know, a stage like this, to where it had shown some promise, but it definitely did not show it was going to be a stone like this. The risk versus reward video, you know, 3 or 4 live streams this stone has been. It's going to have 8 hours, maybe 9 hours in it when it's done, but it's going to be worth it. This is why we dig for it, man, is this kind of stone right here. This is why we carve for it right here. This is a name your price stone. If they don't want to come to your price, and hold on to that shit and let them buy something else. This burr, I didn't have any smaller 400s, and so I literally took a sharp, I don't remember what it was, but I took something sharp and I ran this burr along it to make it like that, to give it that bullet shape on the edge of it. But also, I'm not scared to go ahead and wear some of the burr a little bit in order to make sure I get into into an area, just because it's one of the really large ones. In all honesty, I've had almost no use for these. I would actually not recommend anybody buy these. I would only recommend that you go with the bullet shapes and the $35, $35 for 4 burrs, I think it is, something like that. That was bad. Didn't like dropping it all the way down there in the trough. And honestly, this would probably be a better, quicker polish if I just pulled out the Diaflex and hit it with the Diaflex. Probably like a medium soft Diaflex or something like that. I barely use those because they're so valuable that I've never really practiced with them very much. And thank you, Cherie. Yeah, you can go ahead and use Mark's code on that. I don't care. Wow, that purple and green is showing up so bright right there now. I don't even want to touch it with the 600 again. I want to only hit it with a 12. There's other areas I'd like to hit with a 600, like this little divot in there that's like seems to be bronze, but I'm almost scared that the purple's not there, that it's like just a dead zone of that, and if I were to go deeper that I would lose that bronze and get a dead spot totally. So I'm a little bit worried about. I'm going to dry this off a tad. Hello, Resort Dog. Glad to see you pause here for a minute, my friend. We are getting down to the final touches on this. And this is still a 600. You can see it's more waxy than it was with a hard 600. You can see that it actually, and that other 600 is a 600 to 800. but you can definitely see that it has much more of a waxy sheen to it, and the some of the hard little edges that the other piece still leaves are gone a little bit, except for up here. I would say that's actually a little bit more flat than it was before. That makes me want to round that piece a little bit, tell you the truth. And it looks like I could use a little bit better polish on that edge with the 600. But you can definitely see the difference. And even when it's dry, that color's starting to stand up now, all angles. It's really what we're going for. Like, it's really what we're going for. You want to know the reason for no flat spots is because that's where you get your dead zones. And a stone, when you get the carving just right, you get that shape just right, people will see it from across the room. You'll be sitting at dinner, and your friend's going to go, hey, what the fuck is that on your hand? You know? Look at how gorgeous that thing is. We are almost there, guys. I don't know about the $10 burrs. I'll have to look into that. I know Nova Points are a good product. Like, they're not as good as the Diashine Diaflex, but the Diashine's just so damn expensive in comparison. But I believe that the Nova are not using diamonds as much as they are using I wanted to say graphite, but that's the wrong word. Carbon. I believe they're using carbon, and although carbon is literally supposed to be almost the same thing, it's not. Diamonds are harder than carbon itself, but I believe that's why we never see any shine. We only see black coming off of these Nova points when we're using them on stuff like this. Because we're not seeing diamond, we're seeing carbon. Ooh, got a sharp edge over there, don't I? Now, that's just for the Diaflex. As far as it goes for the Diashine, the Diashine is well worth the money. The Diashine will last you longer, will stay good for longer than any of the other polishes. It will absolutely polish more stones than any other oil-based I've ever seen. The Diashine itself is well worth the money, insanely worth the money. I still, in all these years and all the crap I've played with, I still haven't used and finished my original batch of Diashine. Not one of them. So the Diashine polishing powders are crazy worth it, and they never dry out, ever. Like, you can use them forever because they're not oil-based. You have to put water on them to use them. They're just powder-based. Silicon carbide, thank you, Resort Dog. All right, people. This freaking monstrously beautiful, gorgeous bastard right here. This sexy mofo. Yep. Yeah, I definitely think there was a light spot of color right there, though. So, oh shit, I just dropped it everywhere. Go ahead and switch this out for 1200. I think I'm definitely ready to do that. $1,200 is gray. I do have a little bit of a gray bullet left. I got rid of that flat spot, as you can see right there. It looks nice now. Nice little shine to it. Let's go and get rid of that dull wax and put a glossy wax on it. The soft 600 from Nova Point definitely puts a dull waxy shine. What the hell? Oh. Sometimes my 4-drum jumps so hard it turns itself off on the wall. Remember too, guys, when this stone came out of the ground, none of this color was here. This was the color that was here when it first came out of the ground. Like, it looked like it was going to be this. It did not look like it was going to be this. This was on a completely different side of the stone that this came out of, and under the other layers. Well, you can go back and scrub through like 6 to 8 hours of video and just see exactly what it was. I still think I could probably lose a little bit of thickness on that. I think it might still be too thick. Don't like it burning that burr up right there, but don't really have much of a choice and really want to get this done. And honestly, tomorrow, one of the first things I'm going to do is order some more Nova points. I don't know about working completely underwater. I pretty much, compared to every other person I've ever seen carve fire agate that's like good at it, I carve wetter than anybody else I've seen. Everybody else I've seen carves way more dry than I do, especially Richard. Like, I'm way more worried about the health aspect than he is on that level. I want to see how this is looking. I'm scared I'm going to start losing some color. I see one area of the purple I'm already worried I'm losing color on. Once again, brighter. Losing purple right there. Just a little stitch I'm losing, and I can see it's going to bronze. Hate that. And it's not quite as polished as I'd like it to be, too, especially in the channels. The channels are still too waxy. Still too waxy in the channels. I got to put that point in there and really just give those channels a little what for real quick. Don't want to be losing the burr though. I'm too high again, aren't I? Just realized that was way off the screen. You guys are looking at my thumbs. Yeah, I made a little bit of an exhaust system. It didn't work very well, so I stopped with that. My exhaust system was just not working good. John definitely knows how far I've come from this. When I met that guy, I hadn't even first heard about fire agate. I heard about fire agate after I met him. Yeah, I heard about fire agate at the Royal Peacock, actually. It's my second time at the Royal. Oh gosh, I got a leak up top. Oh man. 1 second, guys. All right, I think most of that leak is handled. All right. Much more shiny. Waxy shiny. Close. That divot right there where I lost that bit of color is really not quite good enough. This one's better, but not still deep in that. It's not quite good enough. I'm going to have to force that burr in there to get it. Although I think I could probably get it with just with Dia Shine, tell you the truth. Oh, I'm glad I have linoleum down. Otherwise, I'd just be leaking water onto carpet. But
Now I'm just going for any spots I remember that weren't quite happy. I wasn't quite happy with. Actually, I hated doing that a little bit, but felt it necessary. Wipe it off. See if it's ready to move on. Oh, it turned itself off again. Think I'm about ready. Ready for the next stage, I do believe. I don't really have enough patience to do the back sides fully. I want to, but not by hand, I don't. It's just too easy to put it on a wheel and just brush up the backside. The edges, on the other hand, won't quite brush up the same way on a wheel if they're not all flat. So if they're undulating at all, it's just going to go better like this. But for the sake of the video, I honestly just need to move on, I think, to the top and finish the polish. Yep, that's what I think I need to do. On to the 3,000 with all 11 of you that are still here. Thank you for being here, 11 people. Making good gemstones of any kind is about patience. It doesn't matter whether it's fire agates or diamonds or rubies or, it doesn't matter. It's patience. If you don't have the patience to
try and make it as good as you possibly can. If hurrying or just getting it out of your way is your focus, then just don't do it. You know, don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. Do something else. If you want to bring the best out of something you possibly can, and you know, take a little time to do it and go over something sometimes 3 or 4 times, and go ahead and get into this. Because the reality is that we need more people like that in fire agate, and that fire agate is undervalued. So you need to love it, you need to value it, and you need to sell it to somebody that values it as much as you do. We need more people like that too. And I do believe that this is ready for the next stage. I am happy enough with it. I do believe that we're going to get through the 3,000, and I'm going to put a shine on this, and this motherfucker is in our faces. Pow! I'm so happy right now. You have no idea. The 3,000 stage is the hot pink stage. And this, since I have a little bit of a hot pink left that's bulleted, I'm going to use this big hot pink, and I'm going to run it around the back and the edges and the side, and I'm just going to let it grind a little bit of the hot pink off, because like I said, I never use these big ones. They're too big for fire agate. In reality, I wish they would make even possibly some smaller burrs for fire agate. This composite seems to be hard enough. You would think they could maybe make some different shapes, tips. But what do I know? I'm not the guy forming the molds for making Nova points. Woo! That was bad. Don't do that, especially if you're on a hard floor. If I was on a hard surface floor, this stone would have broken to a million pieces. You go and let that happen on some hard tile, man, your piece is gone. Concrete outside, your piece is gone. It might survive, but in reality, what you'll probably find is under 30 time magnification that your piece has got cracks in it that you can't see with your naked eye. Yeah, I'm not even going to run it on the top. I was going to use this on the back and the sides. I use the bullet shape on the top. Oh, it just broke. I felt it break. Is like wasn't in there properly or something. There was a lot of vibration while I was using it. And like I said, there must have been a bad batch when I made this order, because I have like 4 of these now. Really rather frustrating, to tell you the truth. The thing was vibrating all weird, though. That's why it was snapping the stone out of my hand, is because it wasn't like centered or something. That's all right. I will order more. I will lodge a complaint and send those back. Oh, that's the first time you've seen that happen? I must have gotten a really bad batch, because I've had that happen to me 5, 6 times. I sent 2 in already, and I've had it happen 4 more times. All out of the same batch of burrs I ordered from them at the same time, though. So maybe they had a new guy who's fucking something up. You know what I'm saying? That was Ralph's first week. He didn't know you're supposed to prime the thingamajig with the spigot stuff, or it doesn't fit properly. Like... And I do put pressure on there too.
Probably more than I should. I'm not just going lightly, like I'm putting a little bit of pressure. And remember, guys, remember that nub I was talking about? Should I cut that off? That's this section. That big green spot right there, that's that nub that was the red with the green and the coppery. Yeah, cutting that off was the right decision, man. Talk about gorgeous underneath. But you can see how paranoid I was. I polished the thing, or I cut the thing like 3 times and or twice, and then I finally decided, you know what? I'm just going to cut that off because that color is running underneath of it. Appreciate that, Darkened Shroud. So I'm pretty sure that with this series, I'm going to have to rename it and go through all the videos and make sure they absolutely are in a playlist sequentially, maybe in the Chasing Fire series or something, because I'm pretty sure from beginning to end, I'm going to have the best piece of fire agate that's been carved from beginning to end on here. That was like, you know, a minor window to this. Pretty sure. Don't get me wrong, Richard can definitely have better than anything I have, but as far as like carving it with all the hours, the majority of the hours on live stream, well, actually all of them were on live stream, just I windowed it years ago. Keeps going to slip out of my hand, little bugger. Yeah, this is black opal worthy right there. Definitely. Such a beautiful piece. Give it a little dry and see where I'm at so far. I don't think I'm quite there yet. The 3000 tends to take a bit, because it really does put a nice polish on it. Oh, well, we're definitely getting close, but the crevices are for sure not there yet. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. There's the angle. Once again, you can definitely see the difference going on in the finish. Like, it's definitely more wet looking. A lot of the waxiness is going away. And we do have color from all angles. Like, that's the big deal. That's the best part. Like, ah, shit. I dropped it in the dirty water. Uh-oh. I might be running out of water because that leak I had earlier. No, I'm good. I should be able to finish this with the water I have. Go over it for a couple more minutes with this 3000. Definitely hit these divot, crevices, edges, areas. Once you really get to carving this stuff and you start seeing other people's stones, what you'll notice is that a lot of times people had a much bigger stone, but they were careless on some areas, so they lost so much of the gem color in those areas that they just cut the stone down to only being the gem color, which is the right move because it's going to drive your value up. It should drive your value up. Having a huge stone that's a bunch of crap and a little piece of color is not as good as having a 3-carat super gem color stone. Like, really, it's not. So it's totally the right move. At the same time, you know, if you figure out what you're working with and you're more cautious and you bring out that gem color everywhere, man, your stone's worth more money. Bigger, beautiful stone, right? Doesn't always run like that, though. You got plenty of dead spots that'll happen in fire agate all on its own. Excuse me. 10 people in the room. Howdy, 10 people. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it really does. You're absolutely right. Still feel like I need to trim that on the wheels. I lost an edge right there. I feel like that's like extra. I mean, maybe it'd look good once it's covered in gold. That edge won't matter. It's just something to hold on to. But I'm probably being nitpicky about stuff. Let's see how my little transition divots look. That's what I'm most worried about because the way that they tend to not want to take a polish with these Nova points not being able to get in there. I just want it to be a uniform polish, and then I'm ready to move on to my Dia-Shine. Yeah, even in the shade, you can still see it's purple and it's green, even when there's no bright light on it.
So close. See how bright that edge is? I really feel like the purple doesn't get that bright, but the green can get as bright as that on the edge. That's what I feel like. I feel like I'm almost to that brightness stage, but not quite. But right in that divot, it does not want to take the polish for me. Like the point is just not getting in there. I just got to do a different angle a little bit. Super excited. I want that little stupid divot in there to get close enough so I can just take it to the die shine super fine. Actually, I think I'm going to go through 2 steps of die shine on it. Yeah, man, it does not want to take in there, and I'm scared I'm going to lose the purple on the edge. Yeah, I'm not doing that anymore with that burr. It totally changed the shape of this trying to get in there. That edge is not as good as it was before. It's still purple, but it's still just not as good as it was. The shape is different. Alrighty. Sometimes things just don't go the way you want them to. And this back is not good enough either. That's definitely going to have to go on the wheels again. Flatten that back out a little bit better. Almost there. Got a Diaflex fine I'm going to put on here, and I'm going to hit that spot because it should get right in there, no problem. Nope, actually it won't. Oh, there, that'll do it. Am I too high again? Sorry about that, guys. I don't mean to take it that far off the screen. All right. I think it's ready for a polish.
I'm having problems locating my polish. I mean, I used it just the other day. Ouch. Wasn't supposed to brand my head into the camera. Superfine soft. There's a wheels. Now all I gotta do is find the big plastic container that has all of them in it. And I found that. Nice. Right on time. All right, we are almost done with this live stream, guys. What are we at? 2 hours now? Where's the timer? 1 hour 58 minutes. We're almost at 2 hours. Oh, these burrs won't fit in my quick release, will they? Does not appear as if it will. All right, almost there. I think the other one's plugged in too, but I gotta put the burr in it first so I can test it. Yep, it's all hooked up. Now, honestly, I could go over it with fine and then superfine soft, but superfine soft should take care of it perfectly, especially since the area that I went over it with the fine Diaflex, it's way less polish than the 3000 just was. So most of this is going to take a polish just fine, no problem. Letting the water soak into my Diashine Superfine Soft, putting a little bit on the bristles, and then where's the camera? There we go. And then I'm spreading it to the inside of the bristles and then putting it on the stone too. Just because a little bit goes a long way and it dries out rather fast. So I'm going to put another drop on the powder because I'm probably going to need it in a minute. Put it away. I'm putting another drop on the stone. Let it run off so I just have a little bit of water on it. And honestly, with this stuff, I really like to have my mask on. So I don't, but I would recommend you do. Once again, I'm using Diashine Superfine Soft polishing paste right here. Polishing powder. Whoa, that's what I didn't want to happen right there. Now it's all contaminated. I got to clean the whole damn thing again. That sucked. All right, let's go again. Oops, sorry guys. Let me back up just a hair. Good night, Anita. I'm almost done. I'm about to wipe it off in just a minute. This is the final stage. I'm just trying to make sure that every crack and crevice gets polished real fast. I was supposed to be having storms here today, and for some reason they bypassed. All right, let's see what it looks like, I think. Let's see what it looks like, I think. Looks like I'm gonna need a toothbrush to get inside these cracks and crevices, or a wheel. What did I do with that? I had a thing that had some toothbrushes just for this reason. Oh, there it is. Found it. All right, let me dry that off real quick. See what it looks like. We might just be good enough and done, which would be another 2-hour stream, which would be, I think, 8 hours, maybe 9 total hours into it. It's not ready yet. This area didn't get hit at all up there. Down here, it looks way better. Down here, it looks fantastic. It could use a little bit better polish right here, but inside the divots, it's actually looking pretty good. A little bit better right there, and definitely better on the top of green nub. For sure better on that. You really want to be careful not to run the bristles along your hand with this stuff too. It gets super hot. Definitely like burn your skin and stuff. Needs a little bit of water. It's getting too dry. Getting hard to hold, a little bit slick. Hopefully it looks like that when we get dry. It's probably not going to look that good because that's a cerium oxide finish. We're not quite there yet. That would be the next stage. The next stage after the superfine. Which it's still not there yet, and probably because I should have gone from 3000 to fine instead of straight to superfine. It's really not as polished as I want it to be yet. Definitely not. Almost there. Needs a few more minutes by the appearance of it to me. A few more minutes, a little bit more touch up. That's not polished enough. I mean, it's doing pretty good down in this base section down here where the blue and purple are really showing up. That edge needs to be polished. Whoops. That edge needs to be polished up a little bit more. Andrew, this is fire agate, only available in the United States and Mexico. Only discovered about 80 to 100 years ago. Starts on stone that tends to look like regular agate, white and agate like that, and then you have to carve down to get it to look like this. I have a piece of fire agate that's not really at its color yet around here somewhere. Here's a piece of fire agate. It would look like that, and then when you'd window it, it'd look like that, and then when it's carved really well to good colors, you would get something like this. And it is similar to opal in the type of iridescent colors it has, but it is much harder than opal, and I do believe fire agate is more rare than opal is in general, definitely. May not be more rare than black opal, especially gem grade black opal, but definitely more rare than your average opal, even colorful opal. There's way more opal around the world than there is fire agate. Just not more, or I should say precious opal around the world than there is fire agate, just not agate. There's a lot of agate, way more agate in the world than opal, I believe. Agate goes into the quartz family. Quartz is the second most abundant mineral or first abundant mineral on the planet. One of those two, I'm not sure. They are found in California, Mexico, and New Mexico, and Arizona inside of the United States. If you check my descriptions, you can buy rough and finished stones on my site, on my Etsy page. Oof. I almost dropped it again into the bay. I didn't want to drop it in the water. I did not just scratch it, did it? That's going to upset the shit out of me if I just scratched it. I think I did. I think I just scratched it. I think that's what that mark is. Shit if it isn't. I did. I just scratched that edge. Well, I just scratched that edge, and I'm telling you guys, I am not going to spend my time polishing that edge by hand. I am totally going to use this on the wheels off camera and fix that. I can't believe the edge of the metal hit it, and it totally just scratched the fire agate. I believe I thought there was fire agate in New Mexico too. I could be wrong. It's not on screen. Sorry, guys. Oh, that wasn't why I scratched it. The bristles are getting they're getting really short from being used so much. I probably should have put a new wheel on. I'm trying to get into crevices with something that's really short, and so I end up running the top of it into the edge over here is what ended up happening. It's not a big deal. It's not even in a section where the color is that fantastic. And to tell you the truth, we've pretty much on stream, I've gotten the stone generally finished. I mean, it's pretty much there. Well, not on screen again. Sorry, guys. And this would have gone a lot faster if I would have gone through a couple of stages of the polishing powders like I know to. But I'm telling you, I was trying to hurry this last little bit right here so I could just get the stone done. And so this final polish is taking way longer than it really should with Dia-Shine. If I would have gone through 2 stages or 3 stages like I know, I'd be probably done by now. Ugh. Turn off, water thing. All right, let me get it to dry down. I'm hoping it's good enough for the moment. I'm burning up. I gotta go turn my AC on. And there's still a couple of spots I'm still not happy enough with on the polish, but it's just a time thing, you know? This top area is just not polished good enough yet. It might just not be quite close enough, too. But it's just too dim. That green should be brighter. But the purple area is showing up really good. Yep, that's definitely a scratch I put in there. It's deep too. So I'm just going to end up putting this on the wheel and just nicking that edge off right there. I didn't like this little section right here anyways, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that whole little piece off right there on my wheels. But the blue and the purple, I mean, it's showing up really great. It's not quite finished. It still needs a little bit of touching up. But that's the way these things go, man. Like, even when you think you're done, you're going to go back and you're going to need to do it a couple of times or do something else to it. The edges aren't finished. The back's not finished. But the top is pretty damn stellar looking and good enough for my friend. It's really, really, he's definitely going to be happy with this, especially when people that know stuff in his circle about gemstones talk to him about it. When he takes it to his buddy, probably to wrap it, it's probably what's going to happen with it. They'll be super stoked on it. So in my mind, it's not quite finished because the shine is not as good as it should be. The shaping is good. I have a mistake in that scratch right there I need to take out, but in general, I'm pretty much done for the night, guys. We've been here for just over 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I'm burning up because I don't have any AC going in my room. In general, you can see there's no tool marks in it.
the flow of the light. Remember I was talking about with there would have been a divot right here, but instead you can see that little like line of light right there. It sort of wraps around the fire agate and the light sort of streams out that way, but it makes it to where the light plays off the top of the stone as the stone moves or rolls really nicely. It doesn't trap the light in there. So on that note, thank you all 10 people for still being here at the end. It's not super exciting, but it's definitely supposed to be informative. And I don't know, I guess it depends on what you're into, because I'm excited about this stone. I'm excited to send this to a friend of mine. I surely am. Hello, Phoenician Stones. Nice to meet you, my friend, and thank you for the compliment. I really do appreciate it. I might just turn it back on and do a live stream tomorrow morning just to totally finish tightening up the stone and have it actually to where, you know, I finished it actually all the way finished on live. I might do that. I'm not sure. I definitely have this thing in my head about it going from beginning to end, and people that are wanting to carve fire agate having the ability to see, you know, what somebody who's been doing it for a little while has to go through in order to get a really great gemstone. But at the same time, like I said, we thought we were only working with these colors. Thought we were only working with these colors, and then these colors popped out. So, I mean, crazy top grade, beautiful stone, man. Well, Andrew, if you go and check in my live stream feed, you will see this stone for about 8 hours and what it's gone through to get to this point. About 6.5, maybe 8 hours. Might be 8 hours. So feel free to do that, my friend, and check out my Chasing Fire and look up Fire Agate and check out Mining America and Coleco and, you know, do all that fine, fancy jazz. And if you like some stones, you can always contact me through Facebook or any other way like that, because I'm looking to sell you stuff. Give me your money, fool. Break yourself. What you got on my 40, homie? All that sort of stuff. I had a really good couple of days. I don't want to ruin the video I got coming for you guys. I mean, I didn't video enough of it. I didn't vlog enough of it, but I'm going to vlog more stuff that's like that. I just wasn't comfortable because of the scenario I was in, which you guys will totally understand that in a few. I got dust on my glasses. It's getting in my eyes. That's what's going on. I'm wondering about it. Anyways, I love y'all for watching. Thank you for the compliments. I'm glad you like the stone. The stone has turned out amazing. We will have more. We will do some digs. Things are getting better progressively. The reality is that it's been a year since things got really, really bad for me. And in that year, I have moved to a different town. I have had 2 different jobs. I have hustled on my own, and things are just getting progressively better. Everything's getting progressively better. So I'm going to stay on that track. I'm going to keep doing the things that are making things better. And with your help, things will get better even faster. So on that note, like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz. Although only share the videos you really appreciate. Don't share the videos you think are crap, because we all know right now some stuff's gold, some stuff's garbage. I love y'all for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye. I love you for being here. My neck's doing pretty good, Vendetta. Thank you for asking.